Knowing your why benefits you to actually making sales in your business. It is the core foundation of your marketing. Knowing your why will put you way above the rest of other people that do not know their why. There's a great book called Start With Why, and Simon Sinek is the author of this book. It is a global bestseller, and in 2009, Simon did a video on TEDx or TED Talk, and this video went viral with millions and millions of views. And he was talking about why. And it just makes so much sense because you know what? If you think of people like Apple, Steve Jobs, and the Wright brothers and Martin Luther King, there is a big difference between them and other people that wanted to do similar things as them. They understood the reason why they did what they did. You want to wake up in the morning and feel purpose-driven. You want to wake up in the morning and really love what you do. Now, if you don't really understand your why and the reason you do things, then you are going to struggle in your business. So in this video, there's a whole bunch of questions that I'm going to go through with you. So you have two choices here. You can either go through the questions with me, and I can be your soundboard, though it is on video, and you can do this with a friend. Now, please note, it cannot be a family member and it cannot be your spouse or your partner in crime, but it needs to be a friend. That's somebody that would be there for you in the middle of the night when you need somebody, or when you're stuck on the side of the highway and you need some gas or some petrol for your car. That is the person that you need to do this with. So I'm going to go through the questions with you. I'm going to pull the questions up and let's go through the questions. And I would recommend, as I ask the question, pause the video and then write down your answer. This is not an exercise that you're only going to do once. You can do this exercise many, many, many times over. It took me a few months to really establish my why, but once I did, I understood exactly why I did what I did. And just to give you a clear indication, my first why, the reason why I thought I did what I did, is because, well, I wanted to make money for my family so we can have a better life, have some extra income coming in. And then I realized along the way that it's not really why I did what I did. And I dived in deeper, asking myself these questions, bouncing it off a friend. And the conclusion really is that I wanted to break the poverty cycles in the world. I want to create a business for myself that my kids can have eventually. And that, unfortunately, in today's world, it's just poverty cycles. So I feel like where I can break the poverty cycles, help people to start up businesses, that is creating a business potentially for their children. And that is why I do what I do. So that's my deeper why. So let's find out, what is your deeper why? Okay, question number one is, why are you a small business owner? What is the reason? Number two, what excites you about being a small business owner? What is that thing that makes you feel like, yes, I'm not working for a boss? Or what is that reason why you're a small business owner? Number three, when people come to you for help, what did they need from you? Is it a certain type of question? You always get the same question. When people ask you for help, what is that initial thing that they need from you? Number four, who inspires you and why? For me personally, who inspired me was my parents, really, and my grandparents. I really, really love my family. So for me, my parents was a big inspiration for me growing up. And I'm Christian, so obviously my religion, has a lot to do with as well, who inspires me and why. So what is your reason? Who inspires you and why did this person inspires you? Also, just a side note, there's no right or wrong answer here. This is about you and what you feel within your heart. So number five is, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What is that thing that goes, yes, today we're going to rock this world? Now, I'm not going to be a complete poo-poo and say, well, every day is a great day, because the reality is it's not. You're going to have bad days. But what is that main thing that drives you in the morning, that gets you out of bed and say, yes, today is going to be a great day? What is that thing that drives you? And number six, what keeps you up at night? If you wake up in the middle of the night, you maybe woke up from a dream, or you just wake up and you can't sleep, or you struggle to go to bed, what keeps you up at night? And I don't want this to be I'm worrying about financial problems. Obviously, if that is your reason, then do write that down. But what is that thing that could potentially, maybe that thing that worries you? Is there a way that you can fix that in your life? And then number seven, what are your bigger pain points? What are the things that you consider as a massive issue in the world, or in your life, or in your children's life, whatever that looks like for you? What are your bigger pain points? And then number 8, if you had a day completely to yourself, how would you spend it? And that is also money aside. If money was not an object, how would you spend that day? What would you do on that day? Number 9, what are your strengths? It kind of comes back to the other question, is like what people need from you when they, need your help. But this is something that maybe people don't realize, that you have this. What are your strengths? What is that something that you're really good at that other people are not that good at? And then the last one, number 10, is what legacy are you leaving behind? In other words, you can make this a very morbid question. It's like, what is going to be on your gravestone one day? What is going to be the message? What are you going to leave behind? When you're lying on your deathbed, what is that something that you wish you did that you never did? And those are the 10 questions to help you to establish a why. Now, some of these questions can be a little bit in depth. And yes, you're not going to establish a why in the first round of this. It's very, very few people that actually get that right. But I want to encourage you to always revisit these questions, always look into why you do what you do. Because I promise you, when you really understand the deeper why in your business, you're just going to have this thing that just keeps driving you to keep going forward and to keep doing this new business.